One of the formerly special things about America is that we used to not tolerate corruption. Of course, there is corruption, but we all feel the same about it. Even corrupt scum hate it in anyone else. America was not great because of some magical quality of the air, not because we speak English or because of some happy alchemy of genes predestining us to blessings. America was great because we had, in their inception, good and just institutions. Not perfect, since they're the product of human minds, but the best thing likely. So, the Duke Lacrosse Boys, 3 students, falsely accused in 2006 of gang raping an exotic dancer at a party. The lying so-called victim was Crystal Mangum. The corrupt and lying lead so-called investigating officer was Sergeant Mark Gottlieb. He made his so-called notes 4 months after he concluded the interviews with the boys he was out to get. The notes were all harshly damaging to the innocent, falsely accused boys. And they didn't agree at all with any real notes made by actual witnesses and investigators and nurses at the actual time of the real investigation. Why would Sergeant Mark Gottlieb do such a thing? He had a pattern. He would repeatedly arrest and jail students for minor infractions, playing loud music, carrying an open beer can. He'd put them into cells with violent criminals. His pattern was that he arrested 2.5 times more students than non-students. Other officers on the same beat arrested 30 times more non-students than students. 2.5 times more students for Gottlieb, 30 times more non-students for all the other officers. The corrupt, incompetent, agenda-driven, careerist, bigot, persecutor was DA Mike Nifong. He used Gottlieb's notes against the falsely accused victims of this judicial misconduct. He ignored and suppressed the actual evidence. In the end, there was no trial, and corrupt, cowardly Duke University paid each of the falsely accused victims $20 million. In 2010, the lying psycho who made the false accusations was arrested for attempted murder, arson, child abuse, assault and battery, damage to property, criminal threats, identity theft, and resisting an officer. She served 88 days in prison. The next year, 2011, she murdered one of her boyfriends with a knife. Multiple stab wounds, for which in 2013, she was sentenced to 14 to 18 years in prison. The garbage officer, Gottlieb, committed suicide in 2014 and is currently in hell. The garbage shyster hack politician scum Nifong was disbarred, convicted of contempt of court, and jailed for 1 entire day. Eventually he will or should commit suicide and be in hell. His corruption caused a certain Daryl Howard to be falsely imprisoned for over 20 years. It pleases me when there is justice, however delayed and incomplete. It's gratifying to get good news, however late. I would consider this a generally happy ending all around, insofar as there ever are happy endings. Nifong needs to be executed, but hell will have to do. Now, I might go on about public trust and institutional integrity and rule of law and the importance of impartial procedures, about the human craving for vindication, about common decency that can step back from immediate passions and ambitions and bigotries and strive for simple humanity, but you know all about that already. Instead, I want you to think about the pictures I've shown and ask yourself what's missing. Because there's a glaring omission. What's missing? No, it's not that the pictures of the boys are not there. Unless there's something to be learned, victims should not be spectacles. It's the woman, the false accuser. She was 26, so not a girl. I looked for a picture that would show her character, a mugshot, or an orange jumpsuit, but I couldn't show it. This pathetic, stupid or sick, and certainly vicious person, they're all criminals, but I, being myself a very stupid man, have felt compassion for her It's one of my vices, not vicious because it hurts only me, but still destructive. I see abuse in her face. Not only what she has committed. If I were on her jury, I would convict. But I'm not. So I can be stupid. She's the only one who got anything like actual justice. Justice is something that we should benefit from. Perhaps the years in prison have improved her. At least there, she will not have been able to abuse children, or falsely accuse white boys, or murder boyfriends. But justice should be more than that. I think that it hurts when pets die, so we can practice dealing with grief. In this same way, the crimes of strangers against victims who are also strangers might have a purpose. We should learn pity, and we should understand that pity is a warning, not an excuse. Well, the sword of justice is not a pendulum, swinging mechanically. Justice is an equal and appropriate response. Exoneration is not justice.